Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've not been here before, I'm Naomi and I'm going to be leading you through your yoga class today. So today's sequence, we're going to be looking at opening and releasing tension in the shoulders. So we're going to have a full 30 minutes and we're going to really get into the shoulders, the front and the back of the shoulders. Some of the poses will be strengthening, some will be stretching. So we're looking at overall shoulder health. If you do have any injuries, make sure that you just adjust and you modify accordingly. Make sure that you really listen to your body. Remember, yoga isn't like an exercise class. You never have to do anything. You only have to do what feels good within your body. So just really listen and just check in with the body. And if there's any guys following today, just make sure that you even more so listen to your body. Men generally have tighter shoulders than women, so just because you can't get fully into a pose doesn't necessarily mean that it's not doing good for your body. Just listen to your shoulders, listen to your body, see how you're feeling, and hopefully all of you will feel a little bit more relaxed and a little bit looser through those shoulders, but also more stable through the shoulder joint as well by the time that we've finished. For today, you will need a yoga block. So if you have a yoga block, that's great. If you don't, then you can still do the poses without. It doesn't matter. But if you have one, go ahead and grab it now, and then we will all join in and start together. So we're going to be taking ourselves lying down onto the mat. So taking your block and taking it lengthways, so long lengths goes along the spine, and take it so that the bottom of the block comes to just about the bottom of the spine. Then slowly release the back onto the mat. Allow the legs just to sit, sort of the feet hip width apart. Allow the hands to the palms face up. The back of the head falls onto the mat. Close the eyes, and you'll feel a little strange to start with, perhaps through the shoulders. Inhale through the nose, draw the air in. Exhale, release it out, and slowly begin to get used to that position, get used to that block, opening the chest. Maybe you begin to feel warmth spreading over the body. That's okay. That's normal. Just really allowing the body to feel however it wants to feel. Not judging, not criticizing, just checking in. Noticing how the body and the mind feel. Just noticing how the chest and the shoulders feel in this particular pose. And drawing yourselves onto the mat. Bringing yourself inwards, allowing all the thoughts of the day ahead or the thoughts of the day just gone. Allow them to slide away and come to just you and your mat. Keeping those eyes closed if you wish. Settling down onto your mat, allowing the whole of the body to relax. If you want to start making it a little deeper, then you can bend the knees and take the soles of the feet together. You can allow the knees to fall out to the side, so coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, but we've got a block under the chest still, so we're opening into the hips, we're opening into the shoulders, and we're opening into the chest. Allow the facial muscles to relax. Allow the whole of the body to soften. Allow everything, all the thoughts of the day ahead and the day just gone, allow them to melt away. Bring yourself onto your mat. And just allow yourself to center. Feel yourself grounding. Feel the weight of the hips into the mat. Feel the weight of the thighs drawing the knees down towards the earth. The hips widening, the hips opening, the shoulders beginning to fall away from each other, and that chest naturally opening. Taking a few more cycles of breath, trying to keep the breath in and out through the nose if you can. Always keeping the breath in and out through the nose through our yoga practice, if you can. If it's not happening, that's okay. But if you can, keeping that breath in and out throughout the nose. And when you're ready, take the hands to the outside of the knees. Draw the knees back to center. Just lift the chest a little, prop one arm onto the mat and release the block. Just put it to the side, you'll need it later. And then bring the whole of the torso back to the mat. Lengthen out the legs for a moment. And take 2 cycles of breath, just allowing the chest to come back to its natural alignment. Allowing the breath to fill up through the chest. Just notice how the body feels now. Notice the difference in the body. And then bend into the knees. Take the soles of the feet to the mat. You can open up through the eyes if you wish, or you can keep the eyes closed. It's up to you. Just tuck the tailbone so that the whole of the pelvis is on the mat. Take the arms so the palms are facing down. And just wipe the knees gently left to right. Not doing anything too much. We're not getting those knees all the way to the mat. We're just going to 30 or 40 degrees away from center. Just rolling across the hips. So we're releasing into the side of the body. Just warming up into the obliques, a little into the hips, but mostly into the sides of the body. Coming back to center when you're ready. Taking the arms alongside the body, palms pressed down, ground the feet into the earth, push the hips up, coming into your bridge pose. And then if you like, walk the shoulder blades closer together, grab a hold of each hand, clasp the hands, lift the chest, squeeze the glutes, coming into your bridge pose. Lifting nice and high. Breathing for 3. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 1. Release the clasp of the hands, palms press into the earth. Exhale, roll the whole of the spine down to the mat. Releasing the spine and then wipe those knees left to right. Just allowing the knees to move left to right. Draw the knees, both knees this time into the chest. Hug around the knees, draw the forehead to the knees, wrapping the spine, rounding through the back of releasing the left leg onto the mat. Take a hold just below the right knee on the shin. Take the hands clasped together on that shin. Flex the left foot. And as you exhale, allow the collarbones, the shoulders, and the jaw to relax. The knee falls in towards the body. And we're just taking a gentle stretch, opening into the hip. Taking one more cycle of breath, just a quick warm up through the hips. We're focusing mostly on the shoulders today. Switching sides, lengthening the right leg, flexing the right toes, taking the hands onto the shin of the left foot, of the left leg, and draw the left knee into the chest. Exhale, release the shoulders, the collarbones, and the jaw. Allow the upper body to soften. Feel that release through the glute, the hamstring, and the lower back. Allow the torso to soften. Taking one cycle of breath, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. And then drawing both knees into the chest. Take the arms out to shoulder height, the palms pressed down to the mat. And we're grounding both shoulders equally into the earth. Just take the tiptoes to the mat and take the hips a few inches to the left. Draw the knees back all the way to the belly button. And then draw the knees over to the right hand side. As you exhale, allow the knees to relax, allow the thighs to let go. And if you wish, take the gaze over the left hand. Gaze out to the other side. Take that full spinal twist. Just allow the body to relax. Allow the muscles to soften. Allow the body to settle into the pose, really keeping the left and the right shoulder grounded into the earth. Breathing for one more cycle of breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, bring the gaze back to center. Draw the knees back to the middle. Take the feet to the earth. Take the hips to the right this time. Draw the knees in. Exhale, release the knees over to the left-hand side. And gaze over towards the right hand. Taking that full spinal twist. allowing the whole of the body to relax. The shoulders melt into the mat. The hips release, the body relaxes. And you're beginning to feel that stretch coming into the shoulders, the middle spine. You're feeling that the shoulders and the spine are beginning to warm up, beginning to find motion and space within the shoulders. One more cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, draw the knees back to center. Just take the hips back to the middle of the mat and grab a hold of your block. Draw your block up towards you and place it out to the right hand side, just close to the hip. Take the arms out to the side again. Lengthen the right leg. Take the left knee so it's bent to 90 degrees and then fold the left knee over to the right hand side and prop it onto the block. So you can have the block on a higher side, you can have it on the low side, whatever feels good. Just find that support for that knee. And then from here, so now you want both shoulders in contact with the mat. And then we're going to take some thoracic windmills. So taking the left hand and tracing a semicircle over the head, all the way around, and then we're bringing that left hand to meet the right, and the fingertips meet. The left shoulder lifts, the right shoulder stays grounded through the whole practice. Then trace the semicircle back, again moving all the way through the shoulder girdle, and as you come to the hand out to shoulder height, you find that the left shoulder sinks into the mat. Inhale, bring it back again, really reaching, tracing that semicircle. The shoulder lifts, you meet hand to hand. Trace the semicircle, allow that left shoulder to sink to the earth. Just reaching out, hand to shoulder height. And then inhale, come back. Bring it all the way back to center. And back over to the right hand. One more time, open up, semicircle or rainbow over the head. Trace it out. And then trace it back, bring the hand back to meet the right. From here, just roll over to center, lengthen the left leg, bend the right knee, place the block to the left-hand side and take your twist to the other side. The arms come out to shoulder height, the shoulders ground, the torso relaxes. Then we take the right fingertips this time, trace that semicircle the other direction, over the top of the head, reach right hand to left hand. And then trace the semicircle or the rainbow back again. So this is a really, really nice exercise for shoulder mobility. So it's great to open into the shoulders, but to release mobility, to sort of release tension and open the mobile shoulders. So just making them more mobile, making us have more mobility in the shoulders. Tracing back hand to hand. Open up, reach all the way around, right hand over to the right hand side, shoulders both ground. And trace the semicircle back, all the way over the head, drawing your rainbow, reaching hand to hand, right shoulder lifts. And then as you reach over the head, allow the right shoulder to sink back to the mat as the hand comes out to shoulder height. Last time, reaching the hand over towards the hand, so hands meet on the left hand side. And then slowly just come back to center. You can leave the block to one side. Just draw yourself back to center. Draw the knees into the chest and rock up in your own time to find cross-legged. So just finding yourself cross-legged, seated, just taking a nice easy seat, gently crossing the legs. We're going to clasp those hands, take the palms away from us. Inhale, reach the hands up high. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And as you bring the hands up, try not to arch through the back. So try to keep the lower ribs drawn in. Exhale, hands come down, beginning to move with a little more speed. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And then just draw the hands so the palms face in, the fingertips are still clasped. Tuck the chin to the chest, dome out into the shoulder blades. Allow the back body to stretch. Inhale, bring it back to center. Ground the right hand to the mat. Reach the left hand up to the ceiling Exhale, softly bend into the right elbow. Reach the left hand over towards the right hand side, keeping both the sit bones, so both hips ground evenly into the mat. Taking a deep side stretch. So now we're stretching into the underarm, into the muscles down the side of the torso. So these muscles do come up, they do affect our shoulder health. So although you might feel like you're not stretching the shoulder joint particularly, we're stretching into the muscles that surround it. So we're opening into the sides of the body. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left hand to the mat by the hip, right hand to the ceiling. Exhale, twist over or bend over, to the side. So we're not taking a twist, we're taking a side bend, allowing the right side of the body to lengthen. The fingertips to reach over to the side, lengthening through the whole of the side body. Both hips ground evenly into the mat. Just finding that nice length through the side of the body. Windmill the hands back to center. Rock over through the knees and come to all fours, taking a couple of cycles of cat-cow. So spread the hands as wide as you can. Take the tops of the feet onto the mat, the knees under the hips. Inhale, dip the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the spine, gaze between the knees. Inhale, dip the belly and lift. Exhale, round through the spine, dome out. Inhale, dip the belly. Exhale, round. And then when you're ready, come back to a neutral spine. Just sit back, come to kneeling. If you're not happy kneeling, then you can always sit cross-legged, but we're only going to be here for a brief moment. Taking the elbows out to 90 degrees, palms face forward. Push the elbows as far back as you can, so you're trying to lengthen or trying to create space in the front of the chest. Exhale, bring the arms forward. Take the right elbow into the left. You can either take your full eagle bind and wrap the forearms. You can take the backs of the hands together, or you can take the hands to the shoulders. Particularly, guys, this is where you might prefer to take the hands to the shoulders, but you might find you can take the bind. It just depends on how open your shoulders are. Wherever you are, lift those elbows a little higher. Draw the belly button back to the spine, so we're engaged through the core and breathing for 3. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 1. And then when you're ready, unbind those arms, push the elbows back behind the shoulders, but keep the belly drawn in. So if you can, the movement's coming from the upper body, not the hips. And then this time bring the left elbow on top of the right and take the same that you took the other side. So either full bind, backs of hands together, or hands to shoulders. It's your choice. But make sure you mirror what you did on the other side. Whichever variation you took, lift the elbows a little higher. And breathing for 3. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 1. And then slowly unwrapping the arms. Take the elbows back behind the shoulders just a little bit. And then take those hands back to the mat. If you did sit cross-legged, then come to kneeling just for a moment. For the next exercise, you need to be kneeling. Spread the hands as wide as you can, tops of the feet onto the mat. Gaze just down in front of the knees. When you're ready, as you exhale, lift the knees off of the mat, strengthen through the shoulders. Feel the strength coming into the shoulders. And release it down 2 more times when you're ready. As you exhale, lift up. Hold for a breath. And release down. Last time if you can. If you're only doing 2, that's all right. If you want to join in 3, come with me. As you exhale, lift up. Find that strength in the shoulders. Find that lift. And then release it down. Walk the hands out so that they're coming forward to the front of the mat. Spread the hands. We're setting up for downward facing dog. Hands nice and wide. Middle finger points forward. Tuck the toes. Push the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. You might find the legs are quite tight. It might be your first downward facing dog of the day. So just bend each knee alternately. Stretch out into your downward facing dog. Release the backs of the legs.
Just creating a bit of space. So the feet are hip width apart. The heels are heading towards the mat, but they don't have to touch. That's fine. The hands are spread really, really wide. Remember, we're thinking about the shoulders today. So think about pushing out through the shoulders. So often you're told to roll the shoulders away from the ears. Don't worry about that. Think about pressing. Those hands are pressing into the mat. The shoulders have to push. There's a pushing action going on in those shoulders. Then when you're ready, come back to static with the legs. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. So the feet stay as they are as we inhale, roll forward. Engage the core. Exhale, roll back. Push those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward. Nice and strong through the top of the shoulders. Exhale, push back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, push back. Hips up and back. And then we're going to take a twist. So maybe just bringing the hands an inch closer to the feet. And take the left hand over towards the right ankle. If you can, grab a hold of the ankle. If you can't quite reach the ankle, maybe you grab the calf, or you can take the hand onto the mat halfway between the foot and the hand. And you can gaze under the top shoulder if you wish. Maybe if you've got a hold of that ankle, the gazing under the shoulder really feels quite natural. Feels quite good. Breathing for 3. Breathing for 2. If you find that you start to slip, then do come out early. But think about spreading the hands to help keep you stay up nice and strong, to help keep you with that grip. Spread the hands rather than gripping. When you're ready, release the hand, come back to the mat. Exhale, drop the knees to the mat, tops of the feet to the earth. Come back into a child's pose for a moment. Just stretching it out, releasing it out. And then come back, downward facing dog. Push the hips up and back. Find those feet hip width apart. Ground the left hand, spread the fingertips. Take the right hand to the right ankle. And then maybe you choose to look under that top arm. Maybe the hand comes to the mat. Maybe it comes to the calf or to the thigh. Find your choice, find your variation. And breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. Breathe for 1. Slowly come back to downward facing dog. Gaze between the hands, tiptoe the feet all the way through to the front of the mat. If you can't come into your forward fold with the legs straight, then just take a nice big bend in those knees. Take the arms behind you, clasp the hands together, allow the hands to fall over the head. So we're opening into the shoulders. Relax the crown of the head down to the earth, so the top of the head sinks towards the mat. If you want, you can bend the knees. If you want, you can straighten the legs, whatever feels right. Remembering we're thinking about the shoulders today, not the legs. So maybe it feels better to bend the knees and deepen the shoulder stretch. Up to you. Just breathing in, breathing out. Relaxing into the pose. Release the arms onto the lower back. Take the hands down to the mat. Step the feet back to a plank position. Exhale, lower the knees, the chest and the chin. And then slide it out. Take the whole of the chest and the belly down to the earth. And just allow the whole of the torso to come down. So you can just take the hands either side of the body, tops of the feet on the mat. And then grab a hold of your block. So you might just need to hop out and grab your block and bring it to the front of your mat. Take the elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Often we think they're a little bit wider than they are, and that's why we're going to use our block. So take the block so that it's the widest distance and plant it between the hands. So take the palms to either side of the block. Take the elbows underneath the shoulders, tops of the feet on the mat. Gaze just slightly forward, but not up to the ceiling, and press the palms in towards each other. So really squeeze the block, press those palms in, and you'll begin to feel the muscles of the back
switching on, particularly around the shoulder blades, around the middle of the back. So the glutes, the bum muscles, the back muscles, they're all squeezing in. They're all working really, really hard. And so this is an active Sphinx pose. This is how we should feel in our Sphinx pose day to day. So really just take note of that. When you're ready, release the block. Take the elbows out to the side, one hand on top of each other, forehead to the mat. Bend at the knees and then wiper the feet left to right. Release the lower back. And then slowly come out. And now you've got options. You can either take tops of the feet, you can either take Sphinx pose and press the tops of the feet to the mat again, or you can work a little bit harder, keeping the palms the same orientation. So one hand on either side of that block. Longest distance in the hand. Walk the elbows, the arms forward, gaze down towards the mat. Squeeze the glutes, lift the legs, and then lift the arms. So we're in our locust pose, but we've got that block between the hands. Do not drop the block. Squeeze those arms in. Point through the toes, lengthen through the spine. Squeeze the block in. One more breath if you can. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Keeping it all nice and together. Do not drop the block. And then slowly in your own time, release the tops of the feet to the mat. Release the block to the mat. Take each hand on top of each other, elbows out to the side, bend the knees, wiper the knees left to right, releasing into the spine. And then take the tops of the feet to the earth, take the big toes together, press up and back, come into your child's pose. Knees just wider than the shoulders. Exhale, sink down and release. Know that now we're just going to stretch out. All the hard work is done, just winding down. Just relaxing. Walk the hands over to the right hand side. Take the left hand on top of the right palm. Take your child's pose but with a side bend. Release the shoulders. Inhale, walk back to center. Exhale, walk to the other side. Release it down. Allow the shoulders and the torso to relax. Sink into your child's pose. Allowing the breath to return to normal, the whole of the body to soften. Inhale back to center. And come into your child's pose, forehead to the earth. And just sinking in. Relaxing down. And just allowing the shoulders to soften. Allowing the hips to sink further to the heels. Close the eyes, allow the body to relax. Allow the breath to flow as it wishes. Allow the whole of the body to relax. Everything slides away. It's just you on your mat. And just allowing everything to relax. The mind, the body, and the breath all softening. And in your own time, when you feel ready, walk the hands up to the knees. Slowly, slowly, slowly walking up. Just coming to kneeling, rolling out the shoulders. Taking the hands together at the heart center, palms, fingertips, and thumbs pressing in. Drop the chin to the chest. Blink open the eyes, allow the light back in. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. I hope you're feeling suitably relaxed, that you've stretched out those shoulders and that you just feel a little looser through the whole of the upper chest and the shoulders. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you again soon.